And what is typical band merchandising?
Yeah, the bands I made designs for were like metal prints are like all over, straight in your face, very colorful, dark colors, not the flashy colors.
So, hello everybody, welcome to Merch Sessions. In this podcast and video, we describe all technique strategies to get the most out of your merchandise. And today we got a very, very cool guest.
Yes, today we got an invite, and this is Nils. Nils.
Yes.
It's funny because Nils and Nils. He's our art director. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nils. I'm 29 years old, live in The Haan in Belgium. And I'm the art director at Merchandise Essentials. Before that I was a graphic designer, but now I'm the art director.
Alright, so in this episode we will ask you a lot about designing, how to design, what makes you different as a designer. When did you start designing?
At the age of 16, I was going to punk and metal shows, and I was always fascinated by the band merchandising. And then I just started downloading Photoshop and just went my own way and started to learn how to make band merchandise by tutorials. And then I got contacted at the age of 18 by big merchandise companies to work with them on band merchandising for bands such as Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Limp Bizkit, and so on.
So if I'm right, you made designs for Limp Bizkit?
Yes.
Cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should I say that band merchandise was a real passion?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why I always started with designing.
Okay, so your focus was really designing merchandise.
Yes.
Not design in general, but merchandise.
No, the first things I designed in my life was band merchandising.
Okay.
And what is typical band merchandising?
Yeah, the bands I made designs for were like metal prints are like all over, straight in your face, very colorful, dark colors, not the flashy colors, but big prints that really stand out.
Okay. So how did the process go basically? So you get a phone call from Red Hot Chili Peppers or their management, and what did they say? What did they ask you?
Yeah, it all started because I was like a platform to show your band merchandise you made, and then they contacted me through mail, like you have 5 days to make a design for Metallica. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm like for sure.
No, it doesn't fit my schedule.
And then they showed it to the band and they liked it, and then they bought it.
So the band had to approve.
Yeah,
it.
like Kid Rock especially they had a meeting in Vegas, and Kid Rock especially chose my designs out of the 10 designs they showcased.
Wow,
Cool.
very cool. And do you get like any input, or do you just have to be completely creative?
Sometimes, like for Black Eyed Peas, they asked me to, but they're like, it's for the new album. Album cover is going to look like this, but that one didn't get picked. But mostly it's like this tour, like the Metallica shirt was for 25 years Metallica anniversary. So I made the typical motor backprint. A motor clip, and then with Metallica, a few gaming cards, and then 25 years included in it.
Awesome.
And where do you get your inspiration from?
Life, everything. Like now, I've drove down from Belgium to the Netherlands. Everything you see is graphic design. So clothing, every billboards, just everything that's styled.
What if one of our listeners wants to become a band merchandise or basically merchandise designer? What advice would you give them?
Just go for it. If you're really passionate about it, if you really like merchandise, just look at other band merchandise and just be creative. Listen to the band a lot, listen to the lyrics, and get your inspiration from that.
And what skills would you say they really need to become a designer?
Passion and a little bit creative and some talent. But I learned it from nothing. I learned it from internet tutorials. I learned how a screen print is made, with the different layers. I found my own way to make a shirt in 4 layers.
So you did some technical developments too,
Yeah.
to make screen print. So you really design also for technical
Yes.
applications.
All my prints were print ready, and I never learned it on school or something. I just learned it on my own.
Well, I don't think there's any school
No.
that teaches this, basically.
No.
Well, maybe one day Nils' school of merchandise design. Okay, really, really cool. How did you end up at the company, Merchandise Essentials?
Actually, I was road tripping in California for a month, and I was in LA, I think. I got a mail from a friend like, hey, there's a job opening for merchandise design. I was like, okay. First thing I got home, I mailed you guys, and yeah, I got in and started as a freelance designer.
Cool. And if you look at the designs that you make now compared with the designs that you used to make, what's the biggest difference between being a designer for a band and being a designer for us?
More classy, more fashion-like, and I made T-shirts with Thor Norton carcasses. So yeah, that's nothing I would do at Merchandise Essentials, but now it's more classy, fashionable, more looking at the company colors and using that to make an awesome piece of merchandise.
Yeah. What are like the characteristics of a good design? Do you have some basic rules you say?
An overall good design doesn't exist. A good design is to, you have to look at the client, look at what the clients look at, the look and feel of the client, and then adjust that into clothing, but on a creative way, not just like print a logo on it and the color background they have. Just make it cool. If you have like a symbol, use a symbol all over the pattern or on a cool way, a little embroidery on the chest or something.
Can you take us through the whole process of, let's say, a Google once you have a design?
Yeah.
But how do you do it? How do you take that process?
First they mostly request the design, then I go to look at the brand identity, look at the website, the Facebook, the Instagram, the elements they use in their basic communication, and then I use that in my head to create something new on a different way, but still a unique piece of merchandise, not just a logo, but really make something unique.
Do you see like merchandise as really merchandise or as fashion or a combination between it?
I try to combine it every time because merchandise has to be worn, and if it's not fashionable, nobody's gonna wear it. So you have to take a look at the colors. You can have a company with their main color, like take us. We use orange as main color, but we barely use orange in our clothing because nobody is gonna wear a flashy orange shirt.
No, that's true. What are like the biggest mistakes in merchandise design?
They all think everything is possible. Like, okay, can I print this? But yeah, Nike does it. But yeah, Nike has an MOQ of 100,000 of pieces, but I only want 25 of it. Yeah? But sometimes that's not possible. We can do it with Create, but then I have an MOQ of 100 pieces minimum.
Yeah, MOQ is the minimum order quantity.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I think a very important nuance. That if you design for a screen, basically everything's possible. On a computer screen, everything's possible. But if it has to be made, there are so many technical things you have to take account for. And well, not only MOQ, the quantity, but also price, basically, because you can't just start designing sweaters that would cost 200 euros to produce. Nobody will pay that. So it's staying in budget combined with brand style, with quantities and creativity, because everybody wants to have the coolest merchandise.
Yeah. Another problem is that some people try to make merchandise themselves, but sometimes you have to have some kind of gift for it. You have to see what's possible, what not, and what's wearable, because nobody's gonna wear your T-shirt with just a logo on it and big. Nobody likes that. Especially when it's printed on a gildon of Fruit of the Loom. Wash it like 3 or 2 times and you're not gonna wear that T-shirt ever again.
What's like a typical Nils design?
Yeah.
Do you have a typical Nils?
I have different styles. That's why every day I have to work with different clients. So a typical design would be I like to use grunge effects sometimes to give like a vintage look to something, or just like small details. Like now with the Create, I can really live myself out because there are so many options and just make fashionable designs other than just making a print. I can use tapes, I can use different colors, I can use labels, and then you have one good piece of merchandise.
Yeah, so for the listeners who don't know what create is,
Yeah.
can you explain it a bit?
Create piece is like we start producing like a T-shirt from zero. So if you want a different type of cut, a different type of color, you can do everything within the norms we deliver. But yeah, we can do everything that's possible if your MOQ is right, and then we can go all the way.
Yeah.
We really create clothing then, and we're not just design a print for on a T-shirt.
I think that's a big nuance. There's a big difference between designing a print and designing a piece of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because designing a print, you just stay within your color range and the size where you can put the print, basically. But when designing clothing, you have to even design the weight of the fabric. You have to do all these details, this labeling, the finishing, neck tapes, color of stitching. There are so many decisions to be made. And I think even if people can design a print, there's so much more difficult to design clothing and nice clothing because it's all in the details.
Yeah, especially for the clients we have now, they're all big companies. They don't want big ass prints on their T-shirt. They want classy, but still something special than just an embroidery on the chest. They want something more than that. That's what we deliver.
Is that maybe a misconception that people have about merchandise designing and like really what you do, like the clothing designing? That people really think it's just a print that you design, but now you really design the whole.
It used to be just prints, but yeah, we took it next level with Merchandise Essentials, and we really started creating clothing and not just prints. And most of the other companies just develop prints. They don't even have the designer in house, so they just need to come with a design and they print it on a shirt. We help the client with an awesome print of an awesome piece of clothing, and then we go all the way with them. And they really are satisfied because they have a unique piece of clothing nobody else can develop.
Which are some of the clients or the designs that stuck with you?
The T-Metal case is a case I really like because we made a couple of designs, sent it to them, and they were like, oh, okay, not totally my thing. And I talk to the salesperson, I'll say, okay, let's go to the client and I'll take my laptop with me and we'll design it right away with the client besides us. And then we just came to 2 hours, 3 hours, we just made a clothing collection everybody was happy with. So
we have them here as well. So yeah, that's a cool thing. We have some samples of it as well. Maybe you can describe the watches, at least what you did.
Yes, so we created, they only work with black and red, but yeah, black and red is not so friendly to everyone. I like to use bright colors, so yeah, we used red and white, and then added the pocket to it to make something special about it, and with the logo all over it. Then we added of course the neck label and some other labels, like here the loop label. It's really makes now it looks like fashion, and it's a painting company. So
yeah, it's a billion company, so it's not your average painter, but it completely transforms the idea of how merchandise is designed, because you could have put their logo, or the request we get often a cool quote. That's like the main question we get. But if I would look at my closet basically and see a bunch of T-shirts, this is one I would pick in the closet basically.
Definitely.
That's a T-shirt everybody can wear.
Yeah, and the brand is still recognizable.
Yeah.
And then the sweater is another part of the collection.
This one is actually one that I really, really like. And that's because the thing what you did here is just put the small logo, but it doesn't shout like Trimetal in your face. So you can really wear this to like a pub or a club and have people asking you.
You really have to look at the tapes and know what Trimetal is to see, okay, it's a promotional sweater.
Yeah.
But still looks fashionable,
Yeah, people love to get these.
Yeah. Look at Kappa and Fila, they always use the tapes now, so it can eventually be a Kappa or a Fila sweater with a different logo on it.
Yeah. So with a good design, basically every brand can be a fashion brand.
Yes.
That's the idea.
You can make every you can make your company, everybody at your company want to wear the gear you get them. Because of if you have a basic T-shirt with the logo on it, nobody's gonna go to the pub. Where I work at this place. The
phone number on it as well.
And fax number.
Fax number.
We had a couple of requests, and I adjusted. I said I'm gonna do it my way and just deliver them an example of what they want, and I'm gonna get them a design with the people actually want to wear. And
so that's funny what you say now. So if someone comes with a design to you and you think it's not the best one, you will give them a better option as well.
I give them both options so they can see what's the difference between a good design and a bad design. And 99% of the times they choose my design.
Cool. And is there another project that you like as well?
Our fish cap, that's over there.
I think you mean this one, right?
This is the first cap I made together with Nils. That was just, that's the first phase of our create step.
We were still developing, create and building items from zero and caps. And well, the challenge was basically, let's design a cap as it was for for a fishing club or something.
Yeah, we got inspired by Patagonia and brands like that, actually fashion brands that are worn by many people. Then I started developing it with Nils together, so we made a big patch, as you can see. Then we added some suede on the brim and then some wool on the front, and added some labels on the side. And here's a funny labels too. My fish is bigger than yours. So that's all the extras that does make the cap. Not just a simple black cap with your logo on it or something. We just made a cool cap everybody wants to wear, and people actually contacted us, can I have one too? Because cool. That says enough.
Yeah, it's like the story and the design was more important than the branding basically. So it has to be something people love to wear, and then in second, while inspecting closer to see that it's made by us.
And it's still good advertisement because everybody gonna ask from what brand is that cap? Yeah. Oh, it's from the company I work at. So it's a cool company.
Maybe a stupid question, but as an art director, how important do you think design is in great merchandise?
It's everything. It's a big step for to have great merchandise. Most merchandise companies just print your design on it, but if you aren't creative like some companies are, they don't have cool merchandise, but we help them to create great merchandise by a great design.
You just named some brands as Patagonia. Do you get your inspiration from clothing fashion brands as well?
Yeah, sometimes, but I don't want to look too much at different brands because it's still in your head and you don't have a fresh idea then. I like to watch more things in the street and just graffiti, street art, things like that, and just implement it into fashion and then create something cool.
Yeah, it's a complete process. Yeah. It's quite interesting. It's almost fashion design. It's almost it's a really mix between technical expertise, creativity, but still branded because a fashion brand most of the time can just has carte blanche, just can go completely blank, but you always have to design in the style of a company. So you get these limitations and it also depends a lot on the brand of the company. If the company has nice branding, it's always easier. But the best cases are still the ones with companies who don't have nice branding or just basic branding, and then you can create really nice items.
Yeah, that's the main objective, to make something so simple into very nice merchandise by just using colors, different types of finishing, labels. Just make it a total package of little branded things, but in the end it's one awesome piece.
Yeah.
Is there like one piece of clothing that you really like to design?
I like hoodies because I like to wear hoodies myself and t-shirts also. But with hoodies, you have a lot of extra. You have the drawstrings, the eyelets, the cap, the kangaroo pocket, and you have so many options with hoodies. But yeah, a t-shirt is just a body and 2 sleeves. But you have more options with the hoodie.
So you prefer more complex
Yeah.
designs.
More place for it to put my creativity in.
Okay, so well, maybe we can finish up with some power questions. So first off, if a company wants to work with us and they want to have the best design possible, how should they do their request? What should they deliver?
A brand manual and not too much info.
Not too much info.
Not to like, I want it like that, I want like this color, and just let me do my thing. And if they like the outcome, they like it, and if not, they can use their feedback to together with the client to make it awesome like they want it.
Okay. So you want their trust.
Yeah, and just a brand manual with all the colors in it, and so I can use that as the basics things I can use, like the colors. I need to know what colors the company uses, and I take the best colors in their brand manual to make wearable merchandise.
Okay.
And if you have a tip for companies that want to start with their own company swag, company fashion, what would you say to them?
Go for it. Yeah, and let us do the work. Yeah, just if they have ideas, shoot. But we have ideas too, and we know how merchandise works and what works and what sells, what people want to wear. We specialize in that, so you are not gonna let your house built by a plumber or something. Hey, you always go to a specialist, and that's us in merchandise.
Okay, so we still have the giveaway, and I was thinking instead of doing some physical, we can give away, well, you prefer hoodies, so we can give away a complete custom hoodie design, which is normally around 500 euros to design, and we just give it for free. So basically, can you think of a question they should answer to win a free design? Maybe their favorite piece of merchandise or their favorite piece of clothing they've ever seen?
I would do that. So just put in the comments your favorite piece of merchandise, and we will choose someone who wins it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you will make a hoodie for them.
Yes.
Yeah, so it will be a completely exclusive hoodie designed by our art director. And well, you can use it for marketing purposes, or preferably we can make it for you physically, so you can give out awesome hoodies.
Yeah.
So
Nils, I wanna thank you.
Thank you.
And for all the listeners, don't forget to subscribe, listen to our podcasts, and they are on Spotify, Apple Music, and on YouTube. Thanks again, Nils.
Okay.
And,
Thank you, guys.
Nils was a good one as well.
yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy listening.